grown, and how much more comfortable do you feel in this defense right now?
I think with every day you kind of get more and more comfortable, more and more feeling cool in the same position that you're playing. And so I think with every day I feel like to get better, and so just kind of continue to work throughout the kinks and just continue to make improvements day in and day out.
Now that you've had a few games playing next to Cierre, how much have you exactly learned from him, and what makes him stand out as a linebacker?
I mean, his knowledge for the game is crazy. Like, he knows a lot of the tendencies. He watches film a lot, and he just knows football. And so, like, being able to play against him or play with him and talk to him and communicate, and I learned so much. So I think every day he brings something new to the table, and I try to just take as much knowledge as I can and continue to make myself better as well.
What's the biggest area your group has improved upon since the West Virginia game, where your linebacking core took a little bit of criticism? What's the biggest area where you guys have improved upon since then?
I think we just try to look within ourselves and focus on details. I think every day you can get better on certain details and hone down on certain techniques and fundamentals, and I think that's what we try to take into our room specifically. Coach Manny talks about pointing the thumb every time, and so every play you look at what you do for yourself and how you can get better, what you did wrong, what you did right, or what you did right but you can do even better to be excellent. So Coach Manny is big on making sure that we get every possible adjustment, every possible improvement, and so that's what we try to focus on.
What are some of those details, though? Like, what are some specific things that, week to week you guys have put an emphasis on?
I guess week to week, just trying to hone in on what the offense does and making sure that we're in the correct fits. Like, if we can be sound in our technique, sound in our fits, the defense wins. And so if as long as we can stay true to ourselves, trust the defense, and play fast within the defense, we'll be okay.
Are you glad that the non-conference part is over and the games really start to matter now?
I mean, every game matters. Every game is pretty big, but getting the ACC play is fun. Kind of being in a conference where, like, we have a championship at the end of it. I guess we did it in 2020, but it wasn't really the same. But like now being in a conference where like every game is super competitive, everything like matters even more. It's really exciting. And so seeing the guys kind of be even more up tempo this week because of that is cool to see.
What's Bengali been like as a teammate? As a guy who's kind of learning to be a starter. You've been an experienced guy out there. What have you seen from him growing into having to play consistently?
I feel like he just kind of, like, as we all are, but developing his maturity. He's getting better and better day in and day out of knowing the details, getting even more and more focused. He's, like we talked about, like, he's seeing the action a little bit more now, so now he's even more comfortable in his spot. So I think for him, like, being able to get his first licks out there, his first hits, his first tackles, like, as a starter, like, really kind of helped him kind of hone down, and he's just getting better and better. He's really good.
Shayne, you're facing a team that lost its head coach. You kind of expect an offense that might do a lot of things, play loose, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they're going to come out fired up, ready to go, ready to prove everybody wrong in a way just that they can do without their head coach. And I know Coach Long is going to have them ready to go and dialed up. So we expect nothing less. Expect them to come out with full effort, and it's going to be a good game.
Anything else? Experiencing that at Notre Dame with Coach leaving, and then you get Coach Freeman coming in for the bowl game. What was that like going through that transition?
It was different. It was pretty crazy. I think having a coach leave in that aspect where you kind of hear about it over the internet and not really sure what's going to happen next and how that prevails is like, it was a super fast time. I remember I'm sitting in the facility just like looking through Twitter, and we hear it, everybody's talking about it, like, did you hear this, did you hear that? And it was a wild time, but I think everybody kind of galvanized around Coach Freeman, and like at the end of the day it came out pretty, like, everybody's pretty happy in the long run. But I think teams, everybody has a different team, everybody has different chemistry, and so I mean, they're probably taking it maybe differently. I'm not sure what it's like in their camp right now, but they're getting ready for us on Saturday.
Do you think that motivation would have continued if that had happened earlier in the season? I mean, that happened right before your bowl game, right? Like, do you think if that had happened around the same time this happened with Georgia Tech, do you think that you guys would have been able to maintain that type of motivation? Or was it just kind of a flash in the pan thing?
It was definitely a flash. I think it was probably even more of a flash because it wasn't like we came off a loss. It wasn't like we came off playing bad. I think we had just beaten Stanford, and we're praying on being able to go to the playoff. And so it was a time where like everybody was kind of unsure about everything, and we were waiting for all the results to come out. So I'm not exactly sure if it would have been a different result, but I think definitely having it right in the middle of the season is a lot. And so, but again, like I said, they're going to come out fired up, ready to go, and it's going to be a good game on Saturday.